Kelly and I had so much fun answering your questions. We wanted to get to a few more here on the shootout. So, Kelly, let's get right into it. We have a question here from Mishkov Mania, and I really like this one because I'm hoping this is something that happens in the next few years. If Philadelphia was awarded a PWHL team, what would their name be and what would their jerseys and colors be? First, would you want it to be orange and black? Would you want that
Yes.
sort of crossover with the Flyers? Okay.
I would like that.
I think
I mean,
that's
like,
yeah.
in a totally different way. Like, I wouldn't want them to just be wearing Flyers jerseys,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
do think
yeah.
it would be cool to do, like, the Pittsburgh thing where, like, all the teams have the same color. It would be cool. Yeah.
I have always loved that.
Mhm.
Listen, Pittsburgh, Kelly said yesterday, screw them and all their stupid French fry sandwiches. But I do really appreciate that all their teams wear the same colors. I think that would be cool if there was crossover with the Flyers. I would want to. What would the name, if it's that, like, would you then go, we talked about this with WHA, like, do you go Philly Blazers? Do you try to go something more modern? I'm not sure how you would go about naming that team.
Yeah. I
Um,
wonder, like,
would the,
Liberty? Do we have a team called the Liberty? Was there, like, a women's basketball team called the Liberty? Was there
that is
something?
I think the WNBA New York team is the Liberty.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like something, like, along those lines is, like, very
Is
Philadelphia.
it, and this
And I
is like Liberty Bell, Belle, like the Bell, Liberty Bells. Is that, no, that's too on the nose, right? You can't do that.
that's too, like, well, let's call them the Lady Flyers. Like, no, that's too
It
on the
wasn't a good
nose.
suggestion. It was just a thought. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I think the easiest marketing thing they could do, go Kelly Green and call yourselves the Birds. Like, yeah, go Birds, man. Like, that would be the easiest thing in the world for them to do.
I
And
don't hate it.
I don't think it's the worst. Is Birds too like, is that stupid? That might be stupid too.
I kind of
Like, what
hate
kind
the
of
whole,
bird? Just birds? Like,
yeah,
that's
birds,
just
general.
birds?
All
Yeah.
birds are good.
Yeah.
I kind of hate all of the PWHL names. I don't really think any of them are good. Like, maybe the Montreal one is good, which is, like, Victoire or whatever. Um, they're all just, like, too, like, one word, like, pointed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I It would be neat if you just, like, resurrected the Blazers as a women's hockey team. It would probably make a lot of old people mad, but it would be kinda neat.
If we want them to go orange and black, but be
Mhm.
different, is this the situation? Can we finally get the Quakers jerseys? Can we finally do it?
Maybe they're the Quakers.
Yeah, that's not bad. The
Oh.
the Snyders? No, that's no good.
No, no.
I was just thinking the Cleveland Browns are named after the guy. Like, no, yeah, it's stupid.
The
Um,
Spectrum. And then they wear
oh,
rainbow jerseys, and then a lot of people get real angry.
I kind of like the Spectrum though. That's kind of good.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. We PWHL team. That would be. It would just be cool if we had a PWHL team. I just want
More
any
hockey.
sort of other level of hockey here, so we
Yes.
like honestly, selfishly, so I can go enjoy some freaking hockey when the Flyers aren't on because
Right,
kind of
and
busy when they're playing.
not have to spend $250 to do
Yeah,
it.
and that's the other end. Like, yeah, not have to spend like 2 days' pay to go to a game
Right.
or whatever.
Exactly.
All right, so that's that question. Let's go to Ethan Freeman next. Ethan, always a contributor in the mailbags. What are our expectations on power play improvement going into next year? Do we think a big jump is likely, or are we thinking more modest improvement? And who is to blame if this year ends up being year number 5 of a bottom of the NHL power play unit? Well, the last part, then it is serious. Okay, this personnel cannot do it. They have to figure something else out. Because Rick Tocchet has historically coached some decent power plays. It's going to be a point of emphasis. Like, they can't be 30th or worst again, like that. Just, they can't allow that to happen.
No.
In terms of expectations on the improvement, it depends on two things: who they bring in, not
Yeah.
even to coach it, like what sort of additions they make to this roster, to that will enhance the power play, and what sort of step you expect Matvei Michkov to make. If you think he's going to be an 80-plus point player or better next year, that means power play is probably going to be considerably better. If you think it's going to be a modest improvement, like kind of like this year, but maybe just a little more consistent, maybe not, 8 goals in the last 5 games or whatever, but you just spread it out, but it's just more consistent, looks better, then maybe the power play doesn't take a big jump. But I think it really just depends on those two things: who you bring in and how good you expect Matvei to be next year.
I am expecting them to jump up to like middle of the pack. I think it's going to be a pretty big improvement because I do think that there's going to be like a new coach bounce. Oh, there it is. Look at the thing.
You did it.
There's going to be like a new coach bounce, just like generally. I have a feeling, given everything that we've been hearing about Talkit, these guys are going to be a heck of a lot happier to come to work every day than they were last year. I do expect Michkov to take a step. And I just think that, like, I think the personnel that we have is good enough to score a lot of power play goals if, like, the person in charge of telling them what to do had any idea what they were doing. And, like, no offense to Rocky Thompson, who was a very nice guy, he very clearly had no idea what he was doing. So I'm expecting a pretty big jump from them.
No, we talked in the main show, like, yeah, obviously emphasis on Michkov, but, Tyson Forster needs to be better on the power play, whether he's in the bumper, net front, whatever it is, trigger man. Like, there's a spot for him on a power play if he can be more consistent. He's a big body, he wins battles, and he can shoot the lights out. You need to see more of that. And who's up top? Is Jamie Drysdale or Emil Andre going to take a jump? So it really, as much as the coach, the head coach, and who is ever, in charge of running the power play, if it's that sort of structure, they'll be a big part of it. Bringing in a center who can win a faceoff and score a goal, because we don't have a guy who can, like, do both of those playing the center position. That'll be a part of it. And then how good do you expect these guys to actually be when they're in the position? Like, Owen Tippett had 0 power play goals this past season. That seems impossible, but he scored none. That can't be the case again. All right.
No.
And our last one here from Mad Dog 2020. What up, Mad Dog? If, and that's a big if, what would you, I guess they're willing to trade him, what would you send to Toronto for Auston Matthews? Here's the thing.
Bring in a third.
Yeah, like, I would send 6, Luchenko, Bonk, like all those pieces. That conversation can't even begin without Matvei Michkov. So no. I mean, like, no, not after the conversation we just had about the Leafs. They need a player of Matthews' caliber or somewhere in that realm. But I don't know if he's the guy. Like, 1, he gets hurt a lot. 2, he's not exactly Mr. Playoffs. And while that can change from year to year and from team to team and with different circumstances, I'm not giving up literally the entire franchise to get him. Like, the realistic conversation is, like, Michkov, number 6, and more. And at that point, like, we're starting over, but with Auston Matthews. Like, that's really what it is.
What's the point? Yeah, and that's the thing, like, where the Flyers are now and all the pieces that we have fit with a Matvei Michkov, arc, right? If we bring in Auston Matthews right now, like, now what? Like, we don't have the players around him right now to be good enough. So, like, what's the point of that?
And, like, is Michkov, number 6, Luchenko, and Bonk even enough for them?
Probably not.
That probably doesn't get it done. And at that point, what do we have left? Like, all of our hopes and dreams rely on this, and it's, all right, we brought in Auston Matthews, and now we need to sign other free agents to put around him, and hopefully, like, Jamie Drysdale is a number 1. I don't know. Like, I just don't know if it works. I'd be willing to give up a whole lot, but I just don't see how you make it work without Mish. Like, and I don't
No.
think I'm willing to trade him. I really want to see how it works with him. I'm willing to put my eggs in the Matvey Michkov basket. Connor McDavid, different story. McDavid is awesome.
I don't think you ever get a player of this caliber in a trade. Like I just don't, and unless it's like the end of their career and you're like, it's like when you get Adam Oates, you know, for
Yeah.
a goaltending prospect. You know, like maybe then, but like in their prime, I just don't think any trade makes sense for like the amount that you would have to give up to get them makes zero sense. I just don't think you can get these guys in a trade. You either have to hope they hit the market, UFA, and that you have the money to throw at them, or you hope that you get lucky and you draft one of them. Like that's really the only opportunity.
All right, and that's it. That's all the time we have for you on today's edition of the Shootout. Make sure you're following us right here on the Twitter page and hit that like button, like Kelly did. I'm trying to. How did we? Can we ever make it
I
come
did
back again? Well,
I don't
regardless,
know.
you got
It's
to hit
so
the like
weird.
button. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers and follow the podcast as well wherever you get those. All right, I am Bill Matz. That's Kelly Hinkle. This has been the Shootout. Talk to you later, fam.